Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am over here again with you with the same chapter peace and with the third lecture related to this chapter. In the previous lectures, lecture number 1 related to the chapter peace, I have discussed all these grammatical objectives in detail with you in front of you in the first lecture, and in the second lecture I have given you out a detailed summary of the poem. I have explained the stanzas of the poem, and I have given you out the complete grammatical description of all the important words that are present in the poem. And now in this lecture we will discuss out the exercise related to the unit peace. Students, in the exercise, the first category is to discuss the vocabulary, and in the vocabulary they have given you out some words and they have given you out some options, and you have to pick out and you have to give them the similar words related to that word. This activity is installed from here on the screen, and I am going to explain it in front of you. Extremely noisy, roaring is the meaning of this word. To be taken, to be broken violently and noisily into pieces. Smashing, to make something level by using a rake. Ranking, to make something turn rapidly round and round. A central point is spinning, lasting or existing forever, eternal. To speak something quietly using only one's breath, so that only the people closest to one can hear. It means whisper. Okay students, the next activity related to the vocabulary is you have to give the synonyms of the given words. I have given you out all the important synonyms with their meanings, with their explanation and with their sentence making in the previous lecture, where we have discussed all the important words from the book, from the chapter for peace. But here I am going to give you the explanation of all the important words over here on the screen. You can pick out the synonyms of all the important words from here. The next activity is over here on the screen, in which you have to pick out the positive connotation of the words. Answer is P, chef, slender, aggressive, statesman. Here in these words there is the use of more positive connotation as compared to the rest of the words. And now the next activity is that choose the appropriate connotation. They have given you out some sentences and you have to choose the appropriate connotation for these sentences. Here on the screen you can see that the first sentence is, which would you rather be called, thrifty or cheap? Thrifty. Now I am coming towards the next one. Which is more serious, problem or disaster? Disaster. Which is more polite, sip or drink or gulp up? Sip or drink. Which would you be if you had not eaten for several days, hungry or starving? Starving. Which would you be after a walk in the mud, filthy or dirty? Dirty. Okay students, the next activity is that you have to give the meaning of the idioms in Urdu, so that it would be easily understandable. This activity is in solution form over here on the screen. You can take the solution of this activity from here, and you can memorize it out, but this activity is not so important that I am going to give you the complete detailed explanation of this activity. This is a short question and you have to only memorize this question. Now I am coming towards the answer question. The first question is over here on the screen. How is wind described in the first stanza? The wind is described as a monster of destruction. It will destroy everything that comes in his way. The second one is, with what wind is compared in the first stanza? Wind has been compared with a monster of destruction in the first stanza. What is wind doing to all man's work? Wind wrecks all man's work. How does the scene look like when wind is still? When wind is still, there seems everlasting motionlessness. Skies are very clear, bright and blue. There is a slight hissing sound in the atmosphere. So coming towards question number 5, what comparison is made in the second stanza? The comparison made in the second stanza is between wind with stillness and sound like gentle whispers. Okay students, now it's time to understand, to use and the grammatical objectives which you have learned in the grammar lecture. Yes, the first activity related to grammar is you have to pick out, you have to tell the imageries that has been used in the poem. I have given you out all the imageries over here on the screen, you can see them. But if there is any other stanza, then you have to take a look of my grammar lecture in which I have discussed the imagery in detail, and you have to understand that concept so that you can pick out the imageries and the use of imagery from all the stanzas if they are coming from the chapter piece or if any from any other chapter. And in the next activity is related to the concept of participle. You have to underline the participles that are present in the chapter, in the sentences. I have saw this activity in front of you over here on the screen, but for the detailed note to pick out all type of participles from any type of sentence, you have to go back to my grammar lecture and you have to take out the complete description of the participle so that you will be easy to understand the role of participle in a sentence. And this activity is in the solution form is over here on the screen. Now I am coming towards the next activity, and in the next activity they have given you out some sentences and you have to pick out gerund phrase, infinitive phrase and prepositional phrases from all these sentences. This activity is also in front of you in the solution form over here on the screen, but I have given you out the complete description of these three phrases in detail in my grammar lecture so that you will be easy to understand this concept and to pick out the gerund phrases, prepositional phrases and infinitive phrases if they are coming in any type of sentence, and your paper will not be much difficult for you, as it is difficult who are not going to pay any heed towards the grammatical concepts. So this one is in the solution form in front of you, and I am not going to explain it because I have explained it before in front of you. Yes students, you have to give the first writing skill is that you have to give the central idea of the poem. I have given you out the central idea of the poem at the start of my second lecture, in which I have discussed the complete detail of the central idea or theme of the poem. But this central idea or theme has been given to you for your convenience over here again, so that you can read it and you can take out the help to understand and to memorize this central idea. The next activity is that you have to paraphrase the two stanzas that are present in the poem. But I have paraphrased both of these two stanzas in my previous lecture in detail, in which I have given you out the reference, the context and the explanation, and now I am giving you the paraphrasing of stanza number 1 and stanza number 2 over here on the screen, so that you will be easily able to write out or to memorize the paraphrasing. But if you want to take more detail or add or delete something, you have to go back to my second lecture and you have to take out some information from that lecture and you can add that information in this way, so that you will be able to make it more enhancing and more approaching. Now I am coming towards the last writing skill. The second last writing skill is that you have to write out a summary of the poem. I have given you out the summary of the poem in detail in the previous lecture, and you have to write an essay on the natural disasters. I have given you out this essay is very important, and I have given you out this essay in detail in front of you over here on the screen. You can take a look of this essay, you can add some quotations, you can delete some information from this essay, but this is a more enhancing approach towards a natural disaster, which will surely help you to understand the importance of peace in your life as well as in our society. So students, this lecture is really helpful for all of you, and through this lecture you will be able to prepare out all these grammatical concepts and with activities, and these activities will surely help you to understand the point of view of the paper. So I will be with you with the next lecture as soon as possible, in which we will discuss the next chapter inshallah ta'ala. Till then you have to wait for me. I will be with you. Allah Hafiz.